Okay, so you can see the metal's cut out, so just got some pepperoni pizza box here, and I measured it, kind of did it like this, and then just so I can get the bend, and say it's about 4 inches, it's about 14 inches, a little bit more on this side. So basically we get some cardboard and I kind of bent it about where I want it. So I know there's a little flange over here, so it'll sit just like that, almost up to the edge, and there'll be a little overlap here because it's basically, that's mostly there, and it's got to have a little more right here. So because this part has to have a little more right here. This can actually weld right to the edge right here because this is still here. I got to make something right there. And then what you do is you take the cardboard, but just lay it out on a piece of steel and spray paint all around it, and you cut it out with the jigsaw. And if you hold the jigsaw real tight against the steel, it doesn't vibrate, and use WD-40 and it holds on there really good. And you can see how rusty this metal got. This was actually sitting under a carport with cardboard over it, and it was way under the carport, about 12 feet, right smack in the middle, away from the rain. We're having so much rain down here in Florida, even with the cardboard over it, the humidity alone, even with the metal protectant, caused that surface rust. So I cleaned it up with the DA. This will be the section dual action sander, just an electric one. Cleaned up both sides, and this will be the side I'll cut out. So I'm going to lay the cardboard on top of it. Okay, so I just spray paint, some Rust-Oleum blue, blue, red, whatever, so around the cardboard. So I know it's a lot better than using tape. Got to let it dry though, that's the problem. And get the jigsaw out, and we'll clamp it down, and it'll cut really good with the jigsaw, because as long as you don't let that jigsaw vibrate the metal, you hold it down tight, and you got a board over here with big C clamps, it cuts like butter. With some WD-40, it'll cut like butter. Then we'll make the bends down here. I got some steel to make that with, and we'll line it up, weld it in. Well, I did not show you actually me cutting it, but it cuts like butter. As long as you press with the front down, you keep it firmly, and you keep this metal from vibrating, and you keep some kind of WD-40 or spray lubricant on there, it cuts like butter. It will cut like butter. This is 16 gauge, and the lower the gauge number, the thicker the metal. A lot of people use 18 or 20 gauge to repair stuff. I'm using 16 gauge like the original on a car. But you can see it's going to have to be protected because you see how fast it gets rusty even under a carport with cardboard on it, protected from the rain, just from dampness. So we will make sure it's protected with, what do you call that stuff, copper coat, weld-through primer. After I chemically clean this, and first we got to bend up the metal and get it to fit right, and we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so you can see I got to do 2 bends, so I clamped it down on this beam and I hit it with that hammer. You can see it's starting to get dark out already. I got to do 2 bends because it bends. It comes down, it bends under, then it makes a lip. So it's like the body's here, it comes down, it goes under, and it makes a lip. So that's the lip. I might have to trim some off the end, but a little excess is okay. Next is to make that second bend. Alright, you can see I got an angle coming down here, an angle like that. So this is like the bottom, and that's that little lip that goes along the bottom of the car. This needs to be trimmed just a hair. But then I'm going to make a slight bend in this. Of course, it's getting to be nighttime, so I'll have to continue this later, but did get a lot done already. This is pretty much, it's a lot cheaper to do it this way, and you're using USA steel. I'm not buying no Taiwan shit. See the bend? So that fits on the bottom of the car like that. This lip needs to be trimmed a little bit. But yeah, that's a good piece. It's a good piece. It'll fit right in there. How's that? Remember my shit from 40 years ago. Well, it's not coming out as good as I expected or as fast as I expected, but it will come out okay. You know, this metal I didn't really cut exactly the right size, but it's pretty thick stuff. It's 16 gauge. Usually people fix it with 20 gauge or 18 gauge, and I had to cut another piece down here to cut this lip. I'm going to weld right along here, and I'm going to tell you something I do, because maybe you find it easier for beginners or some shit. I use this spotlight here, turn it on, and you see right here, when I'm looking through the mask, it's kind of dark. I can see exactly where I'm starting, but I'm getting this down with science now, so I'll get it done. And you know, I'd rather have the 16 gauge stuff in here. Actually, I ordered some more of that 3M and panel adhesive. I'm gonna, after I grind this down, I'm gonna go ahead and go over it with some of the panel adhesive. So if there's any pinholes, it'll be filled in before I go over it with some door glass. Then I'll do the Bondo. It won't be on there too thick, because this is actually pretty freaking even, actually. I just want to get this lip on here, and this will be doubled up, and there'll be two pieces of 16 gauge steel on the bottom, so it'll be very difficult to rot through. And I'll have on the inside, it's getting coated with that Eastwood, they call it frame saver, internal frame saver coating. It converts rust, and it puts like a sticky type of oily wax-based substance besides converting the rust over it. And it's got a wand that sprays out like in this direction, all different directions, forward and all different sides, with a 2-foot wand. I'm going to go up through the bed in the corner. Actually, there's a little hole up there I had to seal up, and go right down all in here. So it's going to get coated on the inside too. But you know, I figure once I do this, I don't think it'll ever rust out again, because of the way it's going to be coated. And I think this bottom part I am going to use not for here, not for the top where the sun hits, but I'm going to hit this with Rust-Oleum. There's a Rust-Oleum that hits around the same color, because I figure no matter what I do, this shit is going to get screwed up, and I just want to be able to dig out a spray can and psh, psh, psh. Rust-Oleum lasts as long as it's not on the sun a lot and you have it prepped. I noticed if you have it not in the sun, it seems to last a good 10 years, and I think this shit will get this will get chipped up way before that, so I don't want to be screwing around putting the other kind of paint, automotive paint, on this very bottom part. You won't be able to tell though, believe me, because the way I do it, I lay it on there, it's fucking, even when I did it really quick over here, came out fine. I did that really fast. It'll look fine. That'll be about the color, so I'll try to get a color to match the roof with the acrylic enamel with the hardener. I'm not going to put Rust-Oleum on the roof, because that shit will fade. I know it will, but not on the bottom. I'm figuring, because this will get screwed up down here no matter what I do. I want a fast way to fix it. Well, it's a pretty sloppy weld, but I can tell you one thing, it's not weak. The stuff is, man, doubled up metal on the bottom. So what I'm going to do now, though, because you know, if you put Dynaglass over this damn crap, no matter how good you put it on there, if water got behind it, it would just screw it up. Not the Dynaglass, but any plastic over it. So what I'm going to do is this stuff here, let's keep it in a plastic bag so it don't dry out, and actually have a bunch more of it. Just got more in. 3M panel adhesive, part number 08115. I'm going to mix some up by hand and go over it and force it all into any of these holes here, which would basically, that stuff, it's bendable, it's got some pliability, it's designed for freaking gluing on quarter panels. I mean, I could have just glued this stupid piece on here, but I decided to try to weld it. And you know, part of the problem is some of this metal's got some rust behind it still, but it's very solid, so it's got surface rust. It's going to have the other stuff on there, so I'm going to mix some of this stuff up by hand, put it over that, let it dry, sand it, then we'll put Dynaglass plastic. I don't think it'll go anywhere, to tell you the truth. For 20 years it'll be fine. And of course, all work stops to feed Mr. Cat here. See, it's our cat that comes by. Okay. Got a big can over there. Right, fella? I think this is a girl. I think it's a girl cat. It's got 3 colors. See the stripes on the back? See how it is? See that? And it's got white feet. It's got little white feet. So, I don't know if you can see that. Right, buddy? Hi. It's a girl. I think it's a girl. Yeah, so. Well, we gotta feed the cat, so. Next, put the 3M panel adhesive on. You focusing on that camera? It's pretty cool colors, huh? Look at that. It's like a golden brown and black with white paws. It's somebody's cat. I think she got lost. Right? But you're getting well fed. I'm gonna make sure you get some cat vitamins too. But you got some good food there, man. Even the dry stuff is the what do you call it? The Taste of the Wild. It's pretty good stuff too. Okay, so I put a light coat of 3M panel adhesive over it, and when that dries, nothing gets through that. Period. Plus, like I said, it'll have like that Eastwood frame saver stuff on the inside, but nothing will get through that because even though Dynaglass is not affected by water, anything on top of it, it works like a sieve. Actually, the water gets through it. If there's a light coat of plastic on it, paint, it'll just bubble up. So we're making sure two different ways. Even though this isn't done right, it's done. Well, it's done. It'll last. It'll still last anyway. You know, it's called It's called hack and pack, but it's also it'll hold up good. Well, you see with that panel adhesive, you know, it's despite the wells being real sloppy and stuff, they were still strong. You know, even after I ground them down. With the panel adhesive, there's going to be no way water can get through any hole and get to any kind of door glass. So put the door glass on there next, and I'm going to put some more of that panel adhesive in here. This is going to be triple. There's going to be this corner is going to have 3 pieces 16 gauge. That's the spot that gets the most freaking wear and tear. But I'm going to glue it on with panel adhesive. Little minor bullshit, but I think actually this repair is going to fucking last fucking longer than the original by far. Okay, buddy, cat, what are you doing, huh? You want some food, huh? We got some food for you. Yeah? Meow, huh? Meow. Here, buddy. Here, come on. Here. Right? Hold on. Take it out of the can. There's our little cat. See? Huh? Yeah. Hi. Some Friskies. Purple turkey. And I got colloidal silver in the water. A little bit of it. Keep it fresh. You're hungry, huh? Miss White Boots. Hmm? Right? Rocky's up here as we get some fiberglass on this thing. Hi, Rocky. What are you doing, Rocky? Huh? Hi. Hi. Is that your little friend down there? I'll leave the air conditioning on and the window open so you can see your friend and smell your little friend out there, right? We're going to make something so you can go out. Well, I threw some Dynaglass on there. Bondo glass, Dino glass, same shit. I like using the real shit. I think Dynaglass is made by Bondo though. But I clamped on that, and put some more of that, what do you call it, panel adhesive back there. So there's like 3 layers of 16 gauge on its corner where a lot of crap throws up. And like I said, I think I am going to paint from here down with spray can Rust-Oleum because I used to take these things out on dirt roads, gravel roads, rocks and crap you hit in the bottom of it, and yeah, I guess acrylic enamel would hold up a lot stronger, but then again, it's a lot easier to fix if you scratch something or bang something up or something. There's no, you know, I just get a spray can and, you know, go over it real fast. It would take me a lot less to do, but from here up, I'm going to use all the automotive paint. I was almost thinking about even putting truck bed lining down from here down or something too, but I don't think I want to do that. That would really look cheesy. You'll never notice the Rust-Oleum now, so people were saying no, but you know, this is a car I'm going to use the shit out of. I do not want. I find it totally pointless to fucking have a car that's too nice, because it's, you know, if I went really crazy with this thing or some shit, you know, And then it's like, you can't drive it, you get a chip on it. Fuck that. And I broke out the little cheese grater, and actually, you know, when I used to do this a million years ago, I never liked using this flat one with this tool. I used to take these and break these in half, these round ones, and you can kind of hold them in your hand and go like this. It's good to get like off the little tiny high spots before you go to sand. Like there's a little, you know, bumps and shit, like right at the end where you applied it, like this here. So, what I'm anxious to do is get my, I got my air compressor all stoked up over there. I want to get out that board sander, and you know, it's not a Hutchins. It's what the hell you call that? It's Chicago Electric, but it's back when they were made in USA. I know it works, so I'm anxious to get that out. Hopefully I got strong enough paper, like hopefully 40 grit or some shit, bust this down really quick. Then I don't know, I'll probably just put some regular Bondo on it, prime it, paint it, fuck it, go on to the next one. But you know, I haven't done this in a while, so but this shit ain't going nowhere, man. That is strong as shit. And when that gets coated on the inside, I don't think it'll never rust. Not in a million years. Not in a million years. Actually, I'm going to tell you something else. What I plan to do with this car too on the bottom, I got these jack stands. You can lift it way up. 4 of these. I'm going to pressure wash the shit out of it with the hot water, and also that awesome cleaner. Let it dry, and I'm going to use Rust Veto 344 Cosmoline, which is it's like 5 mils thick. I mean, it's really thick shit. It's probably almost a 1/4 inch stuff thick, and it'll never rust. Anything you get that shit on, you'll never rust. It'll never rust. It can be taken off, but the thing is, it can also be painted over. It can be welded through. The whole 9 yards. I'm going to probably get a 5-gallon pail of it and do all my cars with that shit. And even the inner thing on a boat trailer, some of the stuff way down there that gets smacked in the inside of the fenders. So, because, you know, as long as it don't rust, I don't really give a shit. You know, that's the main thing. Well, so much for the door glass, because it's good enough for down there, man. Tell you what, this thing here, this board sander, does a job, man. And the fact that I got this electric DA saves my air. And the other thing, I mean, it ain't gonna come out bad, believe me. It's not gonna be, you know, somebody's fucking body wham will be saying, hey, it's fucking screwed up. It's you gotta blow this off before you put the Bondo on it, you know, the regular plastic shit. Yeah, I know it's got a low spot in already, but the plastic will take some care of that, some of that. But down there, you ain't gonna notice shit anyway, because it's curved down. Because I got it jacked up right now, but it'll look fine. And I'm probably just gonna do 1 coat of plastic, maybe 2 skim coats, and do that thing. The board sander, prime and paint it. Boop, done. And I clean this off all the time with the air, and a wire brush makes this paper last a lot longer. That's another sweet tip. Use a little wire brush on there and some air. Clean that shit off, keep it from clogging up. You'll need to keep changing the paper. It's a, you know, I remember a lot of shit from way back, but I just haven't done this in a long time. But hey, whatever I'm doing, it's going to be a lot better than what it was. There's no doubt about it. And like I said, it will last because it's going to be coated really good on the inside. And I've done an entire quarter panel that was like smushed way in. I beat it out with a sledgehammer, and I had this stuff on here really thick. It never cracked. That stuff is good. It's just that you know, it's wrong, but it's not gonna fucking fall apart, believe me. Well, I'm probably just gonna let it do 1 coat on this thing, maybe, and that's about it. But and be primed and painted with a spray can, and go on to the next step. Get inside them doors next. Well, it looks 100 times better than it did. and being a light color down there near the bottom, it's not going to be noticeable with, you know, whatever imperfections are. And, you know, I can go over it, but the main thing I want to do is get started on something else, and also make sure I get the inside of the metal really coated up with that stuff called frame saver and stuff, and start getting on with the rest of the stuff. But I'll get better as I go. Hey, I'm attacking it. I'm doing it a piece at a time. I thought it'd be further along, but I just do a couple hours here and there, and then I got to pull everything out and put everything away. But the next thing is inside the doors, and maybe I might get a lower door skin for this damn thing because it's screwed up. Well, I'm not sure. I'll try doing it without a lower door skin. We'll see. Every one of those parts you get, their lower door skins, are made in Taiwan. And I'm like, fuck that. I'll just make the stupid shit out of metal. You know, it might not be perfect, but, you know, like I could drop this thing on the ground right now and I could fucking drive it, you know? Big deal, right? That's the important thing. It's not in a million pieces.